Hello, this is Johnny Norvell. We've been gone for a while, but we've been evaluating what we need to do going forward with our channel, and we've come to the conclusion we want to teach people the basics. This series is going to be multifaceted. After playing myself thousands of gigs, solo gigs, and playing with others for the last many years, I'm going to show you these patterns and these ideas that you really have to know, and you can really elevate yourself forward quickly. I don't care if you just picked up a guitar today. If you'll stick with us on these 15 or 20 videos we're going to do on this, you'll be able to fast track everything you're doing right now. And you know what? The only thing you have to do is just listen, because everything's free. And then subscribe would be great. So let's get started. Let's get into this great new video series from Music Performance Academy. This is video number 1 of the essentials, the tips and tricks that you'll need to play live as a solo performer, or as in a band, or as a duo. I've been playing thousands of gigs by now, so these are things that they're stock things that you're going to need. So pay attention, and a lot of these things are very basic, but some of them are a little more involved. So, tips and tricks number 1, we'll call this, is to have essential capo. You can get any capo you want, but these Kaisers are pretty good. There's other ones that are more expensive, but Kaiser's fine. Make sure you got it with you, because you're going to need it. The other thing is a tuner. Just a little snart tuner's fine. And then when you go to tune, make sure your battery's good. That's really important. And when you tune, we're tuning in standard. Just instead of using the pick to tune, when you turn your tuner on, just use that fleshy part of your finger, and you'll get a better outcome on down the neck. Just tune up and use that little fleshy part of your finger. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is how to use this capo. I'm not going to get into too much theory. It'll get too long. It'll get too involved. So let's just do it this way. We're in the key of G right now. If we want to move to the key of A, well, let's just play G. Now, that was G, key of G. Now, if we want to keep that same chord pattern going, and say we want to go to the key of A, we're just going to deal in cowboy chords right now. So we're going to take the capo, put it on the 2nd fret. Now, before I go on there, I want to tell you one more thing. These dots, people are wondering what these dots are for. Most guitars will have them on the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, the 9th, and the 12th. You'll have dots you can look down at, and you'll have dots that are the same right here. And it's pretty standard. If that's what I look at too on a guitar. You want to have something that has some dots to go by, and I'll tell you why. So if we're going to go play that same group of chords, and we want to go to the key of A, you take the capo, you put it on the 2nd fret. You'll see a dot right in front of that capo on the 2nd fret. We've created space, if you'll notice right here in this G. There's going to be a space right here. And it's the same thing here. When we go to the 2nd fret, we've got this space created. So you don't want to be back here. You want that space. So there's a fret between the chord right there. You'll see it. Really important, because a lot of people, you can tell, but they don't really know it. They'll do something like that. That ain't going to work. You got to move it and create that space. Now, what you got here, when you put that capo on the 2nd fret, you're now playing in the key of A. Really important. The next fret we're going to go to play out of the key of C is we're going to capo on the 5th fret. Even though it looks like a G chord, we're actually playing in the key of C. Okay, that's going to be on the 2nd dot. And then we want to move to play in the key of D. You want to go to your 3rd dot, put that right there on the 3rd dot, play the chord G, and you're actually playing a D chord. And those are all you really need to play in your standard cowboy chords on the 1st string. What I mean by the 1st string is your first note is going to be the name of that chord. Okay, let's go to the A string. Like I said, I'm not going to get to the theory. This time, using the capo out of the 2nd, like C. C is So a lot of times you'll use the capo out of the C position. So let's just see what I did. I went C, F, G. Now, if I want to go to the key of D, I put my capo on the 2nd fret. Now, even though this looks like a C, I'm actually playing a D. Very important. Now, if I want to go, let's say, to the key of E, I'm going to go to the 4th fret, play out of the key of C. Now, that's E. Now, if you want to go up 1, F doesn't get used that much, but let's go ahead and use it. Oh, and also on this chord, you don't have to create the space like we did the G. Your index finger is going to be right there, right in front of the capo, next fret up. So now we're now the key of F right here. So we're capoed at the 5th fret, and that play out of the C position, and that gives us the key of F. Now if we go up 2 to your 3rd dot, now we're in the key of G. You might want to get a paper and pen and write these things down. Okay, and the last one we're going to do with the capo change up is going to be in D. So let's do a run of D, A, G, D. Real simple. Okay, to change that key to the key of E, capo on the 2nd fret. Remember your dot. It's going to be right behind the 1st dot. And you got that space created right here again. So we're going to call these by the shape. The names D, even though there's an E chord. So the next shape, or let's go to that's E. F can be kind of a good key to change, use a capo on. So in order to go to F, we just go up 1. It's going to be right over the 1st dot. And we're in the key of F now. Same chords. And then, so important to know the names on your first 3 notes from the bottom, E, A, and D. But anyhow, we'll get to that later. If we want to go to the key of G, we're going to go to 2nd dot. You'll see it, and then just play out of this. Now we're going to be playing out of the key of G. Now, if we go to our 3rd dot, that's 2 frets up. We're going to be playing out these shapes of D. You tell me what note that actually is? Looks like a D, but it's actually an A. Okay, to recap everything really quickly, the essential for playing these live gigs. If you can, try to start memorizing your notes on the low E string all the way up to the 12th, the 5th string all the way up to the 12th, the D string all the way up to 12th. Learn your dots. So you've got dots on 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. And then learn how to use the capo out of the G position, which is you're starting on your 6th string, out of the C position, and then out of the D position, and moving up and down. And know the names of the chords, and that'll help you a lot. So just work at it, but this is very essential for playing live solo gigs. See you next time.